What's good, everybody? Hope everybody's having a beautiful day. Spreading love, loving yourself, and being the absolute greatest version of yourself at all times. Look, the question that I've been asking the last few days, I've been wondering it to myself. Not as much as I say it on my videos because I know, but I'm also open-minded to it. It's like you can get to a point where you know something, but you don't want to stay there. You always want to continue to grow and become more understanding of who you are and what you are capable of. That's what enlightenment is, knowing how much you don't know. But look, the question that I'm talking about is, who do you want to be? And I made a video yesterday talking about this. I felt like that was one of the best videos I ever made. But look, it's all going to come down to you figuring out how to answer that question. Whether that takes a day for you to figure it out, you need to sit in silence to answer it. Who do you want to be? What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? Where will you be in the next 3 years? And what will you be doing? How will you be doing it? How will you be carrying yourself? How will your life be different from what it is right here, right now? You may be the happiest you've ever been at this point in your life today, right? But you also want to continue to grow. So whenever I say things like that, it's not saying don't be grateful for what you got. It's saying you can ask for more out of yourself, because as life goes on, so should you. You should continue to move on. You should continue to learn more about yourself, dive deeper into the questions. Why am I here? What am I doing? Where am I going? And if you know what the fuck you're doing, you're going to be able to answer those questions easily and continue to move forward towards that ultimate goal, that ultimate desire. It's just figuring out what that is. And for instance, I took time to think to myself what the ultimate desire was, knowing what I want to do, where I want to go, what my life will look like in 3 years. And I know what it will look like. I visualize it every single day. I see it and I'm making it happen. I'm living as the person that is the one to do that, because I know I am the one to do that. You got to figure out how to merge this, because we have been given this power ever since birth. And so many people don't know about it. They become accustomed to what's going on outside of themselves, the regular life, what they've seen in their family, what they've seen through their friends. So you'll see that people set their goals so low, because if you see or hear somebody say something that is such a big goal, such a big dream, the reason that they make things like that happen is because they dream bigger than you. And that's not saying compare yourself to nobody. It's saying you need to understand who you truly are and what you are capable of, and never settle for less. The way that I set my goals now, if somebody was to hear them, they would look at me like I was a crazy motherfucker, like I was off my rocker. But I know that I have that power within myself, and I'll never let that shit go again. I didn't think about it for a while like that. I used to set my goals way lower than I did right here, right now. Now, when I set my goals, or the way that I carry myself in my daily life, is with no limit. There is no limit in life. Only the ones that you set. Only the barriers that you set in your own mind. People use the power against themselves. They don't realize that, but that's why they live in the reality that they do. That's why they have what they have. And this isn't me knocking anybody. It's me saying you can have anything you want. So if you're not happy with what you have, or you feel like you haven't been able to accomplish what you said you was going to do for going on months and years now, and you don't know why, take a look in the mirror. That's why. You, the way that you think, the way that you carry yourself, how you respond to things. You saying you want something so badly, but as soon as an unexpected event happens, you start using your imagination against yourself. You start thinking of everything that you don't want. You start thinking of problems emerging from life, and that's what you get. For example, somebody was to say, oh, I can't trust anybody. I don't trust nobody. They're going to continue to attract untrustworthy people into their life. But if it was the opposite, flip side, I am wealthy, I am unstoppable, I find success with everything that I do. You tell yourself this dozens of times a day, right? You tell yourself and you convince yourself that I attract wealth like the air that I breathe. It just flows to me. It happens naturally, and I don't stop it. It can't be stopped. It's going to continue to happen regardless. What do you think your life is going to be like when you start reaffirming yourself on things like that? Whenever you shift it, That is the answer that I'm talking about. That is the power that I'm talking about. And that's just the surface level of things. You have to dive deeper into yourself to figure out, like I said, who you are becoming, what you actually want out of life, what is your ultimate desire. And this shit that I've been doing, for instance, I've been writing it down in my notebook, right? I'll write it down in my notebook, but I write it down in the present tense because me even seeing it in my mind shows me that that person exists and that I am that person now. This is what's happening to me. This is what I'm becoming. This is who I am. This is what I continue to grow into. This is what the fuck I do and how I do it, how I carry myself. And I can see and feel and know that my life is changing right here, right now. Just from me changing the way that I think. Because that's where it all comes from. I say this time and time again, but life is simply a mind game. You are able to control your mind. You are going to win. And like I've been saying, I write it down in my notebook, right? My ultimate desire. I write down what I want and what I'm going to do in return of getting that, right? That's what the fuck I do. And I reaffirm it. I say it to myself every single day. And whenever I meditate in the mornings, I visualize it playing out. Whenever I go to sleep at night, I visualize the dream life that I am living in right here, right now. That is the difference. You got to stop acting like it's something that's so far ahead of you or something that's separate from you when it's something that you literally have right here, right now. You possess the power. You were given this godlike power at life. You are an infinite being full of infinite possibilities, capable of all things. Who do you want to be? And look, I'm going to read you two things off of what I've been writing in my notebook. I could probably read things that I used to write because I've had this notebook for years now. This shit hard. I've had it for years now, but I write down everything in here. Even the 753 code, 7 virtues of a warrior, 5 keys to health, and 3 states of mind. I read that every fucking morning. But look, let me flip to my page real quick so I can put you on game, give you a little bit of what I'm talking about so that way you can understand it a little bit more because I'm explaining it as much as I can. But let me give you an example. I wrote down, I am so happy and grateful now that, and then I wrote down all my goals in the present tense. Like, for instance, I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm a millionaire. I'm so happy and grateful now that me and my family travel wherever we want, whenever we want. And it goes on and on. You talk about it in the present tense. You feel me? That's just one of them. That wasn't really what I was talking about, but that's just another example. Look, I put, during the next 3 years, I will be traveling the world, investing still into trading crypto and property. I will be making $2.7 million per day. I make that shit per day. That's what the fuck I do. That's who I am. I don't settle for less. That's what I do. 2.7 million per day. Per day. And I will be investing in trading, crypto, and real estate, along with hosting seminars showing people how I did and continue to do so to make it. And then I put, form a mastermind alliance with at least one person in your immediate family and one other person to whom you are selling your services. That's what I put for the next 3 years. But for major desire, as I was talking about, I'm a multi-billionaire who has created multiple assets in different fields that nets me over $83 million per month. In response to me having this wealth, I teach others how I did and continue to do so for free. I built the school of thought, which you will see in the coming years. I built the school of thought for others, and I help everyone that I can. Write down what you want and what you're going to do in return of getting that. And then talk about in the present tense. I've said this, I don't even know how many times today. And the way that I carry myself is even different. Like how I said, I can see it when I look at myself in the mirror. I can see the way that I think now, the way that it's changed over the past week of me developing myself and continuing to stay open-minded and being consistent on what I said I'm doing. I don't even like sleeping in that much anymore. I got to be up by a certain time where I feel some type of way about it. I'll start talking shit to myself, right? But look, who do you want to be? What do you want? And what are you going to do in return of that? Right? Figure out those two things. Write it down in your notebook. Say it to yourself dozens of times a day. It doesn't have to be a specific amount. Constantly say it. Take a picture of it on your phone just in case you don't have your notebook. And then whenever you get a little bit of downtime, you at work or whatever the fuck you're doing, you're busy about something, or you get it just a second to yourself, flip to your phone, read it out loud to yourself, carry on. You have the power. You can do anything you want. The only thing that separates you from doing what you actually want, what you actually desire, what you actually crave out of life is the way that you think. You've seen people do it before. You've seen there be billionaires. You've seen people get in shape in the matter of months. You've seen it happen. And you think it can't be you? Fix your mind. Come on.